side-by-side graves. Welcome back, viewers. In another embarrassment for Pakistan, Deputy Prime Minister and Foreign Minister Ishaq Dar was fact-checked by his own country's press after he quoted a piece of fake news during his address to the Senate. Dar praised his country's Air Force and quoted a page of the UK-based Daily Telegraph. Hours later, Pakistan newspaper The Dawn fact-checked Dar by clarifying that the report quoted by him was actually fake and was being circulated on social media. In his address, Dar had said, Telegraph writes Pakistan Air Force is the undisputed king of the skies. According to The Dawn, the content was investigated by its verified Pakistani team, which found discrepancies in the viral photo and concluded that the information was false. Now let's listen in what he has said.
तो 6 जेट फाइटर्स इंडिया के गिराए गए, एक यूएवी गिराया गया, वो उनको ऑब्वियसली हजम नहीं हुआ. उसके बाद डिप्लोमेटिक, और ये मैं नहीं कह रहा, ये टेलीग्राफ क्या लिखता है, पाकिस्तान एयर फोर्स इज अनडिस्प्यूटेड किंग ऑफ द स्काइज. अल्हम्दुलिल्लाह. अल्लाह ताला का बहुत शुक्र किया, गुरूर नहीं किया, तकब्बर नहीं किया, बड़ी स्टेटमेंट्स इन थी और अपने.
Aditya Vadavan, my colleague, is joining me with more details. Aditya, now Ishaq Dar has been fact-checked by its own press. While in fact he was quoting an article by the Telegraph, and now in fact the own press, The Dawn, has given a clarification against it. What are you picking up as far as these developments are concerned when Ishaq Dar has praised the IF pilots of Pakistan?
Well, Simran, if you see, the Pakistani establishment, now is in a completely denial mode because, they are not able to accept and digest the reality that the Pakistan Air Force military FO bases have been completely destroyed. As per some reports, about 20% of the air base infrastructure of the Pakistan has been destroyed in the Operation Sindoor by India. And now Pakistan's Foreign Minister Ishaq Dar, is giving false statements day by day, because his government, led by Shahbaz Sharif of the Pakistan's Muslim League, is not able to digest the fact that they have been overpowered, completely overpowered, and now it is very embarrassing for Ishaq Dar, who happens to be the Foreign Minister of Pakistan, that his own media, Dawn, the Pakistani media, is fact-checking him and correcting him, and at this juncture, the entire Pakistani establishment is in a mess because a lot of damage has been caused, and as per some reports, due to the failure of the Chinese early airborne warning systems failed, the China has also given Pakistan a new set of airborne warning system, but all this at this juncture, Pakistan is in a deep mess and they are not ready to accept the reality. Yes, Sidney.
Well, absolutely. In fact, Aditya, as this has come out, it's a big embarrassment for Pakistan by its own press fact-checking their own minister. Now, Professor Madhav Nalapat is joining me live on the broadcast. Sir, appreciate you joining me live this morning. Well, this is not surprising to be emerging from Pakistan, but at the same time, this is also a very big show of what are the sources of their reports, what are the sources of their statements, when their own media fact-checks them on the kind of statements that they issue in the Senate. And this is indeed a huge embarrassment. What are your thoughts on this entire show of Pakistan that has embarrassed itself continuously?
Look, it's controlled by the ISPR. Pakistan media has become what Mad Magazine was. Those of us who recall Mad Magazine know it was a very crazy magazine, and Pakistan media has become like that. A much bigger danger is there, and that is that media in countries that are countering extremists like Pakistan and authoritarians like China. Even in their media, they are being very skillfully targeted by sources who pretend to be anti-Pakistan, anti-China, and then who feed misinformation to unsuspecting Indian journalists, American journalists, European journalists. So they publish that misinformation, and a lot of that misinformation is designed to discredit news that appeared in these very publications. So we have to be very, very cautious. Not just for Pakistan media, we can frankly take it and use it and read it as comic relief. But we have to be very, very cautious in India as well, because frankly, there's an intense effort to cultivate influential sources in journalists working in influential publications. Those working in non-influential publications are ignored. Nobody cares about them. Nobody bothers about their stories. But in influential publications, to plant fake information about genuine stories, that genuine stories are fake, and thereby discredit large sections of Indian media that carry these genuine stories by basically describing them as fake. So I think, this war of misinformation and disinformation has several facets, and one of the dangerous facets, frankly, is the misuse by sources that pretend to be very anti-China, very anti-Pakistan, but which seek to discredit very good information that is coming in Indian media. So I think, that this we are quite capable of doing that. The government is capable of doing that, and I'm sure our media is overall very responsible, and they're also capable of doing that. And meanwhile, there needs to be a warning issue that this kind of fake source may come and misuse you to plant information that basically damages the credibility of very influential media in India. So I think that's very, very crucial to know, and I'm very, very certain that this problem will also be tackled. It's been identified, it will be tackled, and I can assure you, as far as India-Pakistan is concerned, we won a comprehensive victory. Absolutely a comprehensive victory. There's no getting away from the fact.
All right, Professor Madhav Nalapat, thank you very much for being with us on the broadcast. Now, viewers, Raksha Mantri Rajnath Singh has left for Bhuj Air Base. Remember, this was his very crucial visit after visiting Srinagar yesterday. Before leaving for his trip to Bhuj, he has taken to X and stated that he's looking forward to interact with the courageous air warriors at the Bhuj Air Force Station. Quoting about his trip, Defence Minister Rajnath Singh said he will also be visiting Smriti 1, a memorial and a museum envisioned by PM Narendra Modi as a tribute to those who have lost their lives in the 2001 earthquake. All right, Mehndi Garg is joining me with more details. Mehndi, what are you picking up, as in fact all eyes are now on the crucial visit by Raksha Mantri at the Bhuj Air Base?
Well, indeed, Simran, it is a very important meeting, and as per our sources, we are getting to understand that Rajnath Singh is visiting Bhuj Air Force Station today to interact with personnel of the Indian Army, of the Indian Air Force, Border Security Force, and also the other security agencies. And he has taken to his X platform and shared that he has left from New Delhi for this location, and there he will be holding meetings with the Army personnel, and also he will be briefed on the current security situation and operational preparedness by senior commanders. And in this particular visit, Simran, Lieutenant General Dheeraj Seth, General Officer Commanding-in-Chief for Southern Command, will be present during the visit, and also they will brief Raksha Mantri on the exemplary role being played by the Indian Army and also BSF on operating under the Bhuj-based Independent Infantry Brigade. And the visit will also highlight, Simran, the coordinated efforts of all security forces in ensuring the safety and security of critical assets in the region, and also the Indian Army Air Defence units deployed near Bhuj and Nalia has successfully neutralized multiple hostile Pakistani drones in recent days, effectively foiling attempts to, target vital military installations. And today's meet is very crucial. Today's visit is very crucial of Raksha Mantri also, because he'll have an interaction with the troops, which aims at acknowledging their courage, operational excellence, and also high morale in the face of emerging threats, and also especially in the domain of drone warfare. Not only this, Simran, but also in the post that Raksha Mantri has posted on his X platform, he has mentioned that he'll also be visiting Smriti 1, the memorial, and also the museum, which was envisioned by Prime Minister Narendra Modi as a tribute to those who, lost their lives in 2001 earthquake. Yes, Simran.
All right, Mehndi, thank you very much for sharing more details. And now let's also shift our focus to other developments. The Indian Coast Guard has successfully rescued 6 crew members of the cargo vessel MSV Salamat, which sank in the early hours of 14th of May. This rescue took place approximately 60 to 70 nautical miles southwest of Mangaluru, Karnataka. The rescued crew members have been identified as Ismail Sharif, Aliminam Ahmed Bhai and Kakal Suleiman Ismail Akbar Abdul and others. They have abandoned the sinking vessel and managed to embark on a small dinghy before being spotted. Following their successful rescue, the survivors were administered first aid and transported safely to the new Mangalore port, where they have arrived on 15th of May. Local authorities will be conducting further interviews with the rescued crew to ascertain the circumstances leading to vessel sinking. Brian Thomas is joining me with more details. 6 lives have been saved by the Indian Coast Guard at the MSLV Salamat in a very successful effort, where 6 crew members on board were in fact rescued after they were drowned in the ocean. Survivors have been administered first aid is what we are learning. Brian, what are you picking up as far as the entire incident is concerned? Where was the ship on board and how did this incident happen?
Well, clearly, Simran, in a very swift rather and a very coordinated operation, now the Indian Coast Guard rescued over 6 crew members, aboard the cargo vessel that is MSV Salamat, which sank in early hours of May 14. Now, approximately it was 60 to 70 nautical miles southwest of Mangalore itself, and the rescued individuals, all like you mentioned itself, Ismail Sharif, Alimun Ahmed Bhai Ghavre, Kakal Suleiman Ismail, Akbar Abdul Surani, Kamal Ismail Mepani, and Azmal itself. They had abandoned the vessel as it began sinking and took refuge in a small dinghy. Very importantly, they were then later spotted and safely recovered by ICG personnel. Now, very importantly, following the rescue as well, the survivors were provided with first aid and brought to New Mangalore port on May 15th itself, where they are reported to be in a very stable condition. Our local authorities are also expected to conduct detailed interviews with the crew to determine the cause of the vessel's sinking. Even now, preliminary reports also suggest that rough sea conditions may have contributed to the very incident, though official confirmation is still awaited. But clearly, the Indian Coast Guard has reiterated its commitment now to maritime safety and rapid response in crisis situation, especially along India's western coastline itself, Simran. Yes.
Well, all right, Brian, thank you very much. With more details now, let's also take a look at other developments. Union Minister Dharmendra Pradhan has led the Tanga Yatra rally in the Sambalpur in solidarity with the Indian Armed Forces. Remember, viewers, amid the tensions being escalated with India and Turkey, of course, after India has made this huge boycott call of Turkey and Azerbaijan, there are Tiranga Yatra rallies that have been conducted all across from small districts to the cities. Tiranga Yatra rallies have been launched, and now Dharmendra Pradhan, Union Minister, is leading the Tiranga Yatra rally. Akshay Maharana is joining me with more details. Akshay, as far as Tiranga Yatra rally is concerned in Odisha, what are you picking up as far as Dharmendra Pradhan leading this Tiranga Yatra over, in fact, the resolve of Bharat to cut the trade ties with Turkey and Azerbaijan after their support to Pakistan has come?
देखिए, ऑपरेशन सिंदूर जब सक्सेस हुआ, ठिकानों में जब भारतीय सेना ने सफलतापूर्वक उन ठिकानों को नष्ट किया और उन आतंकियों को एक मुंहतोड़ जवाब दिया, जिन आतंकियों ने भारत में एक भारत में आतंकी हमला करने की कोशिश कर रहे थे, भारत में नफरत फैलाने की कोशिश कर रहे थे, उन आतंकी ठिकानों में भारतीय सेना ने घुसकर उनको मारने में, उनको गिराने में सक्षम हुआ है। तब जैसे पूरे भारत में ऑपरेशन सिंदूर को लेके जो लोग हैं, लोगों के पास तक कैसे खबर पहुंचेगा, लोगों को कैसे पता चलेगा इस मुहिम में क्या कुछ हुआ है, और कैसे सेना को लोग कैसे और सेना को और कैसे इंस्पायर करेंगे, उस तहत जो तिरंगा यात्रा है, यात्रा संबलपुर के सांसद यानी यूनियन मिनिस्टर धर्मेंद्र प्रधान ने जो इस तिरंगा यात्रा में शामिल हुए हैं और लोगों को इस तिरंगा यात्रा के बारे में समझा रहे हैं। तो कहीं ना कहीं जो भारतीय सेना ने जो पाकिस्तान को एक जो मुंह तोड़ जवाब दिया है, जो आतंकियों को एक मुंह तोड़ जवाब दिया है, जिन आतंकियों ने भारत में नफरत फैलाने की कोशिश कर रहे थे, भारत में साजिश करने की कोशिश कर रहे थे, जैसे पुलवामा हो, जैसे पहलगाम हो, जैसे 26/11 हो, ये से तमाम जो आतंकी हमले हैं, तमाम जो आतंकी गतिविधि है, उनको कैसे अंजाम दिया जाए, उनको कैसे यहाँ नफरत फैलाया जाए, इन जो आतंकियों को जो आतंकी फैला रहे थे, उन आतंकियों को एक सबक मिला है। उन आतंकियों के ठिकानों में कहीं ना कहीं जो भारतीय सेना ने उनको मुंह तोड़ जवाब दिया है।
All right, Akshay, thank you very much for sharing more details. Now, in fact, let's shift our focus to other developments. With the Adani Airports Holding has terminated its association with the Dragon Pass, which provided access to airport lounges with immediate effect. The Adani Airport Holdings decision has come almost a week after it has announced its association. The Adani Airport Holdings, in a statement, has said Dragon Pass customers will no longer have the access to lounges at Adani managed airports. This change has going to have no impact on the airport lounge and the travel experience for other customers. Adani Airport Holdings and Dragon Pass had partnered last week, where the latter was given access to all Adani managed airport lounges, along with additional key lounges across India. Shahid Ansari is joining us live on the broadcast. Now, major decision has happened. Shahid, no access will be given to the lounge or other facilities with Dragon Pass from Adani Group, which has terminated the Dragon Pass tie-up in this latest. Why exactly has this decision been taken, and what was at the stake is what we are learning. Share more details.
देखिए, ड्रैगन पास को लेकर अडानी ने जो है पूरे मामले को लेकर जो है ये सारी चीजें, ये सारे मुआवजे और सारी बातचीत खत्म कर दी। हालांकि ये बातचीत हुई और उसको लेकर सबसे फैसला हो गया, क्योंकि जिस तरह से टर्की से और पाकिस्तान के सपोर्ट को लेकर और दूसरी कंट्रीज जिन्होंने जो है पाकिस्तान का सपोर्ट किया है, उसको लेकर भारत का जो एक तरह से जवाब है एकदम साफ सुथरा है। इस मामले में किसी भी तरह की कोई जो है किसी का जो है सपोर्ट अगर पाकिस्तान को रहा है तो भारत के संबंध उसका बेहतर हो, यह जरूरी नहीं है। यही वजह नहीं है कि देखिए ड्रैगन पास के साथ साथ पहले भी जो एयरपोर्ट पर जो है टर्की कंपनी की जो सुविधाएं रही है वो तक भी जो है खत्म कर दी गई है। हालांकि ड्रैगन पास को खत्म करने के बाद जो है कोई बहुत बड़ा असर इसको देखने को नहीं मिलेगा, क्योंकि अडानी ग्रुप खुद इतना बड़ा है कि वो अपने कर्मचारियों के जरिए ये सारी चीजों को हैंडल करने में मेहनत कर रहे हैं। अच्छा, ड्रैगन पास की वजह से सबसे अहम ये था कि वहाँ एयरपोर्ट पर जो प्रीमियम सुविधा जो मिलती थी यात्रियों को, उसके लिए ये पास काफी अहमियत रखता है। यही वजह रही है कि सिर्फ एक एयरपोर्ट नहीं बल्कि देश के कई एयरपोर्ट पर ये सुविधा मुहैया कराई गई थी। लेकिन जब ये हालात जो है देश के मुल्क के जो हालात है पाकिस्तान के लेकर जो सरहद पर जो तनाव देखा गया और उसके बाद जो है दोनों देशों के बीच में जो कड़वाहट रही है, उस कड़वाहट को देखते हुए हर एक वो शख्स, हर एक वो भारतीय जो है अपने अपने तरीके से जो है जो बाइकआउट का जो सिस्टम रहा है, जो मुहिम है, उस मुहिम को आगे बढ़ा रहा है। अगर हम देश में जो है एक आम आदमी की बात करें तो एक हर आम और खास की बात करें, एक आम से लेकर खास तक वो इस मुहिम में शामिल है। यही वजह रही है कि अडानी ग्रुप ने भी जो है उसमें पहल की है और उसकी एयरपोर्ट पर जितने भी उनके सेलेबी का कंपनी का जो कॉन्ट्रैक्ट रहा है वो सारे कॉन्ट्रैक्ट जो है इमीडिएटली बेस पर जो है उसे रद्द किया है और उसके साथ साथ ड्रैगन पास को लेकर जो भी पॉलिसी उनकी रही है उसे भी रद्द कर दी गई। हालांकि पहले ये भी कहा जा रहा था कि अगर अचानक एक साथ जो है सारी चीजें खत्म करेंगे, कैंसिल करेंगे या ये सारी बातचीत सारे मुआवजे खत्म करेंगे तो हो सकता है कि भारतीय कंपनियों को किसी भी तरह से लोड बन जाएगा। लेकिन अडानी ग्रुप ने इसकी परवाह नहीं की, उन्होंने फौरन ये सारी चीजों को जो है एक बीच में जो है सोचा और फौरन बंद भी कर दिया। और इसके साथ साथ ये भी कहा है कि अगर इस ड्रैगन पास के जरिए जो पैसेंजर जो यात्री रहेंगे उनको लेकर हम किसी तरह की कोई कमी महसूस नहीं होने देंगे, उनको जो एक्सेस रहेगा, जो सुविधाएं रहेगी वो हम पूरी तरह से मुहैया करेंगे। हालांकि उस दौरान हमारे लोग रहेंगे और पूरी कमी को जो है पूरा करने की कोशिश की जाएगी।
Well, all right, Shai. Thank you very much for sharing more details. Now, amid the rising tensions between India and Turkey following Turkey's support openly for Pakistan after Operation Sindoor, the Indian government has revoked the security clearances for Turkish ground handling the firm Salamat Airport services. The Directorate General of Bureaus of Civil Aviation Security has issued the order, citing national security concerns as the reason for the immediate revocation, after which Delhi-Mumbai airports officially ended their association with the Salamat entities for ground handling and cargo operations at the IGI airport and Mumbai's Chhatrapati Shivaji Maharaj airport. Salamat Aviation is responsible for critical high security operations at 9 major Indian airports, including Delhi, Mumbai and Chennai. In a counter comment, the company has denied any political affiliations or Turkish ownership. The company has stated, and I quote, that we are not a Turkish organization by any standard and adhere fully to the globally accepted practices of the corporate governance, transparency and neutrality, with no political affiliations or links to any foreign government or individuals. The company also, to their commitment to India, has stated that they are committed to contributing meaningfully to the country's progress as a global aviation hub. My colleague Brian has filed a ground report from the IGI airport on what has happened in the past 24 hours. Let's take a look.
India's few busiest airports, you talk about Mumbai, Delhi or Ahmedabad, they've terminated their contract with Celebi, which is a Turkish, which is a Turkish aviation firm. Now here also you can see itself, we are outside the very cargo terminal itself that is here, and you can see that the security clearance have been given by the center itself, and the Bureau of Civil Aviation Security (BCS) under the Civil Aviation Ministry issued a formal notification of the fact to revoke the security clearance of Celebi Airport services. Now, the Indian subsidiary of Turkey-based Celebi Aviation Holding had been providing ground handling and cargo services at major international airports, and now following the directive, the DIL has also confirmed that it had ended its association with Celebi. They said it's in compliance with the directive from BCS to revoke the security clearance of Celebi airport services. DIL has formally ended its association with Celebi entities responsible for ground handling and cargo operations at the IGI airport. As a result itself, Celebi Delhi, cargo terminal management has also, and even Celebi airport services, which are the two terms managing cargo and ground operations, have seized the services. You can see this is the terminal 2 of the cargo facility. You can see the trucks also going in, and here is the terminal 2, and also this is the very air traffic control headquarter itself, and again, very importantly, to maintain seamless operation, DIAL has now coordinating with alternate service providers like the ASATs and the Bird Group for ground handling services, and for cargo operations also. The airport operator said it is in process of onboarding a pre-approved handler to provide or avoid any disruptions itself. So yes, definitely a major escalation also of by the Delhi airport, and not just Delhi airport, major busiest airports also, to terminate the ground operations, to terminate the services given to Celebi, which is a Turkish airline aviation firm also. And this move has been done after Indians or the nationals, the people of the nation, have started coming out to boycott and to suspend their diplomatic ties with the with Turkey or Azerbaijan. This is me, Brian Thomas, signing off with camera person Deepak for NewsX Delhi.
Now, viewers, on that note, with more news and updates on the other side, stay tuned.